Hi, everyone. Welcome back to On Air with Brandon J. I'm joined by special guest today. He is in the feature film, which is in theaters right now. And you guys got to go see it. Bow Artist at War, Adam Tsekhman. Adam, how are you, man?
Hi, Brandon. I'm great. I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be
Man, it's
here.
great to have you. This film was so uh moving. I got to be there with all of you guys in Los Angeles at the Museum of Tolerance
Oh, amazing.
and to see this film. And I got to give a big shout out to Holly Davidson, who invited me, and Sean McNamara, who I've had on the show twice now. And he was like, dude, we got to do an interview. And I was like, man, this is an incredible film. And then when I get into the theater, I'm sitting in the very row right behind uh John Voight.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was like, you can't be in better company because
Yeah,
he's
that
been
was
in
really
films
cool
longer
when he
than
was
I've been
there.
alive, and no pun intended, right?
Totally. He's a
Adam, what
legend.
was it like
Absolutely.
filming this movie? And I believe you guys filmed it in Poland, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we filmed it in Vancouver.
Oh, you filmed it in Vancouver.
Yes. Vancouver for Poland. I mean, look, the production team did an incredible job. You just thought that it was filmed in Europe. Everybody who watches it assumes that. Um, no, we actually shot it. The concentration camp was shot in an old West town
Wow.
uh, that they use for various productions. I actually used to be on a TV show that shot multiple episodes there for Old West time, horses and cowboys and like all of that.
So it was like a
Um,
deja vu moment for you being right back
totally,
there.
totally, totally, and an incredible example of the magic of movie making. I mean, you have these like incredibly different stories being told in the same place, and the way that the crew, the way that the production designers, the artists that turn it into this incredible, horrifying place,
Yes.
and immediately you're transported there. It's incredible.
What was it like when, you're bringing something with so much, I mean, just horror and pain and all of these things to life, right? On camera. What was it like getting into character for a specific role to play in a film like Bow Artist at War?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite I think the biggest impact happened when I first like put on the clothing. Before we even got on set, just like, you actors typically before you're about to shoot, we go to the costume designer and we put on the clothes and we see how the fit is. And, that was kind of looking at myself in the mirror and then immediately like thinking about, the people who had to wear this, now we're 80 years ago. Um, that was very powerful, moving, impactful. Um, and and preparing for the role was pretty incredible because this is a real person, this is a real story. There are several books that have been written about it. Obviously, Schindler's List um, is kind of
Phenomenal
the
movie. I mean, Steven Spielberg. I mean,
incredible.
come on.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I was playing the same role that Ben Kingsley plays in Schindler's List. So that was a bit daunting to say the least. Oh, by the way, one of the greatest actors ever. Now you play the role.
You
And
had your
and
work cut out for you, but you
yeah,
did it.
exactly.
You was like, I got to pull this off.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, luckily there was no, I mean, luckily or unluckily, there was no like audio or video footage of Itzhak Stern. So I didn't know exactly how he sounded. I didn't know exactly how he moved. I just knew about different stories about him and his, like everybody talked about how much of an incredible person he was, how kind he was, how morally upstanding he was, and someone who's put in this situation where you are, you know, um, responsible for creating, or, one of the people responsible for creating the Schindler's List, the people that will survive while everybody else heads to extermination is, I mean, it's daunting.
What do you think it was, being on set? What do you guys think was the most difficult scene to shoot? Because there were some very impactful, emotional scenes that took place in that movie?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think the one that I made an impact on me now when I rewatch it, I think is, there's a scene near the end when it becomes clear that, so they were all located in this camp called Plajov, which was a work camp, and not a nice place, but it was not an extermination camp where Auschwitz was. People came there and they were gassed and they were burnt and they were murdered. In Plajov, you could be murdered at any point in time if you looked at any of these Nazis the wrong way, but it wasn't like a systematic extermination camp. So there's a scene where I'm explaining to Bao that, there are 1,200 people who are going to Schindler's factory. We will likely be saved, and everybody else is going to the extermination camp. So just the gravity of that situation, and then there's this beautiful moment near the end where the end of that scene where I turn to him and say, like, Mazel Tov on your wedding. We have like a beautiful little a moment of this couple finding this love in this horrible place, and it sort of gives everybody there just an ounce of hope, an ounce of humanity. And I remember the impact shooting that, and then watching it. It's I can't imagine how that conversation. I mean, if that conversation, I assume some version of that happened in real life, but just the gravity of that, and the fact that they were separated after being
What was
married.
amazing, Adam, is in the film, Bao and Rebecca Tenenbaum, right? He's
Hmm.
willing to sacrifice his life to save her when he goes back to you to change the names that are already on the list.
Yes,
And that was, I was like, wow, that's that's something deep right there.
unbelievable. And then she's the one that did change their name. So
Yes.
she was like, send me to Auschwitz, send me to my likely death to protect my new husband, because I know that what he can do for the resistance, that he can, forge documents and save many more people than I can. I'll figure it out. Send him to Schindler's factory. And what's crazy, Brandon, I don't know if you know this, but she never told him that she switched the names, because he never understood how he was saved and went to Schindler's factory. She went to Auschwitz until they did press for Schindler's List in like 94, 93, 94, 92, in the 90s. That's when he finally found out. 50 years later, she told him that she kind of, took the bullet for him, so to speak. She thankfully, luckily survived.
That's some serious humility right there.
Unbelievable. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? Like, they never had a fight where she was like, "You're not taking out the garbage. Guess what? I saved your life. I went to Auschwitz for you." Never did that conversation even come up. She just kept that. She never wanted to lord it over him. I mean, it's incredible. It's so, I mean, it just shows you also how incredibly so much so many terrible memories and experiences people buried and didn't talk about. And that
I
was part
think
of
to add on to that, Inbar Lavi, she did an amazing job
amazing.
embracing the role of Rebecca
Yes.
from start to finish. I think Emil Hirsch, all of you guys did. I even walked up to
Amazing.
at the Museum of Tolerance to Jan. I'm like, dude, your character made me want to punch you in the face.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Really
Yeah.
fantastic. I know it is funny, like for him walking around and he's like, I'm not really a Nazi. Like, I'm just,
Yeah,
please.
he's very quiet. It's like timid. I'm like, are
Yeah,
you kidding me? To be able to embrace a role like that. I mean, but just going into character mode, all of you guys just did a great job. In my opinion, and I know
thank you.
that so many film critics, if you go on RottenTomatoes.com, you guys got a great popcorn review. A lot of critics are like, oh, it could be done this way. Everybody's got an opinion, right? But
Sure,
what
yeah.
matters is you guys embrace the characters. You guys showed a great story on camera. And I literally felt like I was there watching this.
That's
Like it
amazing.
took you away from reality for a second. We went back in time and I'm like, oh my God, is this what our ancestors had to go through? It's horrible, man.
Totally. And I've actually never done a project where I've had so many people reach out to me just talking about how powerful it was, how moved they were, how like, I, I mean, now this person's biased, my sister, and she called me. She's like, I don't understand. Why is this movie not everywhere? I hate every movie. I love this. This was,
Yeah.
it's like, so
This
that, I
movie
mean,
is
that
what
just feels amazing.
well, Adam, movie critics rated this movie as one of the best films in the last 20 years.
That's
That's
amazing.
something serious right there.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's been in
Absolutely.
theaters everywhere nationwide from my understanding, from
Yeah.
AMC's to Regals to all of your different franchise movie theater types. It's everywhere. It's a great film. What do you after this film, right? Because I know this film was shot a little while ago. What are
Hmm.
you currently working on right now?
So multiple things. I have another film that's coming out. It's starting to do the festival circuit right now, called Falsehood, a really interesting dystopian, futuristic, like situation where human memories can be extracted and sold as commodities. Really, really fascinating film. And then I'm writing a lot, Brandon. I have a project that I co-wrote that's in development, and we're putting it together right now called The Gummy Bear. It's a psychedelic horror comedy, Brandon. Woo.
Yeah, that was a little that was a little creepy right there. No, in terms of the different roles that you're playing, you say you write as well. Do you enjoy writing or do you enjoy going into character more?
Uh, I enjoy acting more, but I find that writing is much more torturous. But writing is a lot more, what's the word? I guess satisfying is not quite the word, but it's like I feel like writing is so much harder that the sense of accomplishment is much greater when you have a script,
Sure.
because I know some actors, well, you can't compare how difficult they are, but like,
It all starts with the script, though, Adam. You're right. Like
yes,
it all starts with the script because I was talking to Sean in the interview, and Sean was like, he doesn't even take on a project or commit to a project without first diving into the script.
yes, absolutely. And by the way, I don't know if you know the story about this script, how this movie came together, but the writer, Deborah, she went on a trip to Israel, on a Christian tour of Israel, visiting, all the religious sites. And one of the stops on this tour was the Bow Gallery in Tel Aviv. So she went to this gallery. She didn't know what it was. She didn't know who it was. And she met the daughters, Bao and Rebecca's daughters. And they told her the story about their parents. And she was so moved and overwhelmed by this story. She came back to the States. She signed up for a screenwriting class. She had never written anything. She signed up for a screenwriting class, and like she's like, I need to write this script. I need to make this movie. She wrote the script, she developed it, she helped put the movie together. That, like it was, I mean, it's just an interesting story about like just happenstance. Like, if she had never gone on that trip, if she didn't decide to do that one part of the tour, whatever. It's just pretty incredible that meeting, you know, ended up creating this incredible piece of art. And incredible, like, the daughters, I don't know if you met them at the premiere, but they were there. And they're so incredibly grateful and so happy that their
Just very
parents are
humble.
immortalized.
Yes, yes.
Yes, very humble. Yeah.
One of the last questions I have for you today. This is something that is in current news, and the governor of the wonderful state of California just signed a bill, actually two bills to be exact, preventing anybody in California from integrating AI generated talent. So let's go to the Tilly Norwood sector. What are your thoughts on the integration of AI into the future films?
She's my girlfriend, Brandon. Me and Tilly are we're an item. No, look, everyone's scared, rightfully so. But I think it's an incredibly powerful tool. I feel like society is going to figure out how to use it as a tool. It's interesting. Like, I think we see its power, but we also, all of us, I mean, I'm already using ChatGPT to ask questions about
I
certain
use it
things,
every
you know.
day. I was like, I don't even know who
Yeah,
this guy is. Let me go on ChatGPT and type in who is
yeah.
Adam, and it pulls up things in like 5 seconds.
Totally. Although Brandon is funny, my a buddy of mine did it with me. We were walking, and he did the speaking, like, tell me about Adam Tsekhman. And it starts talking and saying, hey, blah blah blah, born in Canada, he went to business school, he's like everything was correct. It was all correct, all correct. And then at the very end it says, and Adam Tsekhman is married to Joanna Tsanis. And I was like, what? That was a My buddy is a producer, and he produced the movie, and she directed me in that movie. So I know her, I'm friends with her, she's a director. But the fact that it somehow knew who was asking the question, how me and him may be connected, and then drew some weird like parallel line to her being my wife. I mean, it just shows you like it's not right all
Maybe
the
it's
time.
manifesting it, Adam. Maybe it's manifesting things in the future. No pun intended. So,
Yeah, no,
AI,
it's
I use it
it's
every day though. I have to, agree with you. It is a tool, and whether we like it or not, I feel it's a part of our everyday lives, and we can either learn how to use it and learn the benefits and the advantages of using this
yes,
technology, or we're going to get left behind because things are rapidly changing right before our very own eyes.
totally. I mean, look, what before Google started, no one knew about the company, no one imagined it, and now Google has, I think, like 300,000 employees. So, there is a fear that AI is going to take everybody's job, and it might, but there could be jobs we can't quite conceive of yet, I hope. And in terms of actors, yeah, I fear that Tilly Norwood is going to take everybody's job, but ultimately, I think like I mean, especially with comedy. I mean, that's what I write exclusively. Obviously, Bao is kind of a comedy. Actually, there's a lot of comedic moments. But I think for it to, mimic the sort of the comedic elements of humanity, I think that's really hard. But I don't know, Brandon. Maybe next year I'm going to be like, that was amazing, and I didn't know that was AI, and every day it's getting better. So. Um, I don't know what the solution is. I don't know if anybody knows the solution, but fighting it is futile, sadly.
I mean, Gavin said you're not going to be able to use it if you were in the state of California. But my question is, okay, that's cool for
I don't know.
California,
I use
but
it.
what
I'm in
about the
California.
rest of the world with all of these other projects taking place?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can't like geographically doesn't make if the world is using it, the world is using it. Like the
Yeah.
ship has sailed, you
Same
know.
thing with music, right? We can oh, I hate it and this and that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love it because I think that AI has allowed songwriters to be able to put together demos and skeletons of what their songs could potentially sound like. And we may not
Interesting,
have
yeah.
access to find a demo vocalist or a producer or an engineer when this thing is pumping it out immediately. So it's very tough to say that I don't like this.
It almost feels like Brandon. I've been thinking about this myself. Like I've been dabbling in stand-up comedy, and it feels like stand-up comedy is like AI protected. There's some. It's like live performance is AI protected.
Yeah,
Everything else, I don't know, but I don't envision an AI like hologram standing on stage at a at a comedy club entertaining people. That seems unlikely.
I don't see AI is going to be able to replace folks like you and I'm just going to go here. My favorite comedians being a Dave Chappelle or a
Yeah,
Cat Williams. I don't see that happening.
yeah, me neither. I hope.
So
Or you, Brandon, or you.
hey, I'm not a comedian. I'm the guy asking the questions. I'm holding the
Yeah, but
microphone and I'm asking the questions.
But you're
So
full of emotion. You're full of heart, Brandon. That
there it
AI
is.
can't do
There it
that.
is. Don't let this interview fool you guys.
That's right. Brandon is all heart all the time.
That's it. Adam, thank you so much for being a special guest on today's show. Where can we follow
Pleasure.
you on social media?
I'm on Instagram at Tseky, Tseky. That's probably the best.
Adam, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for filling us in on the new projects that you have up and coming. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next. And
Thank you
once
so
again,
much, man.
congrats on being a part of such a memorable piece. And I don't feel, and I'll just say this to end the interview, right? To end in this conversation with Bao. I think Bao is, it has so much culture where it's like a culture classic. That's what I feel when I watch the movie.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's what I got from it. So
That's awesome.
congratulations, you did a great job, and
Thank
I
you so
enjoyed
much.
watching the film. And I'm looking forward to seeing the numbers when it's all said and done of what you guys were able to accomplish with this.
I think it's going to make $1 billion, Brandon.
A
It's no, I
billion
have no doubt.
dollars.
$1 billion for
Well, we need
sure.
to get
Of
away
course.
from the big studio picks now. You can just do independence, and you're making more money than the studios, right?
That's right.
Not a flop at all by any means. Adam, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brandon. Great to meet you.